Help me out here.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Help Me Out Here. This is episode number 7, I believe. We're almost to 10. I'm excited to get to 10 because 10 was the amount of podcasts I did with my sister on our old podcast. So, feels good to accomplish that number. I just like making stuff. I like seeing the numbers increase, seeing more people listen, interacting with more people, more beautiful humans like yourself. So thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. I'm excited. I'm excited to get into it with y'all. It's going to be a good old time. I'm just making sure we're recording. Got some audio, got some video. I have a little bit of a new setup, actually. You can't see it in this video. Well, you kind of can. My bed is actually behind me now. So it used to be on this wall, and you can only see this if you're watching it on YouTube's, and I would appreciate if you subscribed to the YouTube channel. Even if you just listen to the audio, your subscribing really helps me. I appreciate it. But this far wall now has this fancy wood table, and I have an overhead camera rig that I just built yesterday, so I can do some really cool top-down shots when I'm reviewing products or doing unboxings, anything like that. I think it's going to be kind of a new flavor to add to my videos. So yeah, there's this big wood table over here. I might do some podcasts there too. Overhead camera rig, this camera rig, my light, my computer. So my bed and my lamp are back here now. And I like it. I like it so far. I'm excited to change things up and just kind of have more of a studio vibe in here. I want this to basically be like my video studio, but with a little bed in it. This bed I have is like a children's bed that I got at IKEA for like $40. So everything in here is studio stuff minus my bed and my very limited amount of clothing. Oh, can you see in my closet? Oh, you can't really, but I don't have a lot of clothes. I like that though. I like living minimally. It's nice. So yeah, thanks for being here with me, you crazy, beautiful Bufords. I talked last week about my possible job opportunity with this company in Nashville, doing video work for them, and I've been feeling uneasy about it because I don't want to give up my freedom. I like being at home and working from home and being self-motivated, waking up on my time. I still like to get up in the morning, but I like to do it as a challenge, not because I have to be somewhere. So I was kind of stressing about that last week, and I talked to you guys about that. And then they emailed me the day I was supposed to go in for that meeting. They emailed me and said they had to postpone because things came up. And I was like, maybe this is a sign that I don't have to do this. So I had something prepared to present to them, but I'm kind of glad it didn't happen. So I don't know. We'll see if they contact me again, but I kind of feel like they won't. We'll see. But I'm feeling good about that. And I kind of feel like, personally, I don't know, it might sound weird, but I kind of feel like God used that possible opportunity to kind of show me, kind of open my eyes to what I already have, and how lucky and blessed I am to work from home and stuff, because that's what I wanted for a long time, and I worked really, really hard to get there, and I'm here. So feeling blessed about that. Thank you, Lord. Praise God, you know? What else? Oh, I have this pop filter on my microphone now. I listened back to last week's episode, and there's a couple times where the P's and the B's were really loud and make that sound into the microphone. Those are called plosives, and this is kind of a double layer of fabric that goes over the microphone, so when you make P sounds and stuff like that, it diffuses that sound and makes it sound natural, make it sound good. So we got a pop filter on here today, a pop filter. Hopefully it sounds good. Got my notes here. Yeah, and I also wanted to give you guys an update on how I'm feeling about music and the band stuff. If you're just joining us this week, I'm in a band called Earth Groans, and it's a metal band, heavy rock, the rock and roll. And I've been struggling with that as well. Just the idea of being away from home so often and making no monies doing that. It's just put a lot of stress on my life and my freelance work. But I'm actually starting to feel good about it. I've just been thinking about it. I've been journaling every day and just getting all my thoughts out. And yeah, I'm feeling a lot better about band stuff. And we have some exciting stuff coming up. And I don't know. I still need to think about it, but I don't know if I'm ready to be done with that part of my life yet. And the original reason that I left college early was to pursue music, was to pursue that band and that idea and touring. And I just don't think it's time to give up on that, I don't want to be that guy who gives up. I'm still thinking about it and everything, and we still have some tours planned that I will do for sure. So I have no plans of being done yet. So just wanted to update you guys with that. Just feeling better about that. So it's kind of exciting, My guitar is still broken from the last tour, though. I threw it at a show, and it's still busted. So I got to get that fixed soon. Oh, this past weekend, I was in Atlanta. And I told you guys I was going to Atlanta to do a music video shoot with the great Kevin Johnson. Kevin is a filmmaker whose work has inspired me a lot in the past 4 years. He basically does all the big music videos for the solid state bands, like Silent Planet, Fit for a King. And he had a shoot with Oh Sleeper, who is back on solid state. And he hired me to come operate camera. So I got to go down to Atlanta this past weekend and shoot on a 6K Red Dragon. It was beautiful. It was such a crazy weekend. The first night I was there was just a prep night. And I actually have a vlog that I just released on this. But it was a prep night in the beginning. And then the next 2 days were 15-hour days, 12 to 15. It was crazy. But we worked with so many, 3 really good actors. So there's a ton of narrative stuff. And this guy named Braden was the director, and he was really good. He's so good at explaining things. He takes a long time to explain it, but he gets really into the explanation, which is cool. And then Kevin was kind of the over everything kind of guy, and he would do some camera stuff once in a while. And yeah, there's just cool crew people, and it just felt good to be a part of a small team that was just kicking butt. Everyone's laughing, having a good time, but we can get serious and make this awesome piece of art together. And that's one of my favorite things to do, is just be a part of a small crew, especially with those people. That's the second time I've worked with that group. And the first time was a Fit for a King music video a couple months ago for Oblivion. Go watch that video. It's called Oblivion by Fit for a King on youtube.net. And it turned out really good. I'm super pumped on that one. So it's great to be back in ATL making art. And yeah, I love Kevin. He's such a good dude. They have a real cute pup. His wife's awesome. His wife got to hang out with Cardi B. She was telling us all about that because Cardi B came to visit the hospital that she works at, and she coordinates all that. And that was interesting to hear about. Apparently she's pretty chill in real life, which is cool. But yeah, man, working with Oh Sleeper was super cool. Those dudes are wild. They're way more wild than I expected. After the shoot. Okay, first of all, their drummer's name is Zach Mayfield. Z-A-C Mayfield. Almost identical name to me. He's a wild boy, real good drummist. And after the video, he was climbing up on vans. He was jumping on top of vans, making kind of these whistle choo-choo style noises, and just kind of yelling really, really loud. And I felt challenged as another Zach Mayfield. And he was above me, and that's fine. So I think I'm the number 2 Zach Mayfield in this situation, but I'm feeling inspired to become a better Zach Mayfield after this is all said and done. But those dudes are cool, and I don't think I'm supposed to say this, but I don't really care. We're going on tour with Oh Sleeper. My band is. Yeah, shouldn't say it, but I'm gonna, because we don't have that many viewers and stuff, so don't post a clip of this section online. Just wait till we announce it soon, which is in a week or 2, I think. But we're doing a tour with them in April and May, sometime. I'll I'll let you know on dates. Once the tour is announced, I'll give you a full list of cities, and you better get your butt to a show and come meet me. It's all of the United States pretty much, or a big portion. So if you live in the States, just make the trip. Last tour I was on, I got to meet like 3 people who are subscribed to the channel, and it was like some of the best moments I've had on tour, just hanging with them, making videos with them. So let's do it. Let's collaborate on something. Let's make some art together. Seriously, not joking. Okay, here we go. I want to give you guys a kind of an update on Patreon ideas. So I talked about that last week too, how I'm having some ideas on Patreon. I'm definitely going to do a Patreon because I think even if we can get a couple hundred people to support, that could become my full-time job, just creating content. And I'm taking that even a step further. Trying to think how to say this. I have a really big plan that I'm going to do this year in the next couple months that will start. But basically, I'm just hinting at it right now, but because it's not finalized. But I really, really want to pursue this YouTube thing, like content creating, my ideas to your eyes, your ears. I'm just realizing it's my absolute favorite thing. Like sitting down, making these podcasts, these videos that you see on my channel. It's the number one creative or career-driven thing for me in my life. And ever since I started it 2 years ago, like it's insatiable. Like I love it so much. And I don't think it's like an unhealthy addiction. I think I found the thing that I love to do. Who knows how long it will last, but I really think this year I need to spend like all of my creative energy towards this goal of becoming a full-time content creator with my main platform being YouTube. So I have this master plan that I've been conceiving for a while, and I'm going to let you guys know once I think about it, pray about it more, talk to some really close people of mine to get their opinions. Because in the past, I'm the type of person where if I come up with an idea and it sounds pretty good, I'll like do it right away. And then if I don't think it all the way through, it's like, oh man, I could have like added these little elements or done this a little differently and it could have been more successful. So I tend to just jump into things, and I'm going to slow down a little bit. I'm just thinking about this, and I also need to like rebrand my YouTube channel and get everything ready for my Patreon. So I'm going to do a photo shoot soon with my freaking sweet mom haircut. Boy, my 40-year-old white soccer mom cut. It's got to be a part of my personal brand, you know? Let's rock it. I'll be that 40-year-old mom with a little bit of scruffage. No problem. Yeah, but I'm so excited. So excited to share these ideas with you guys and to start making it happen. Part of me, I so badly want to do daily content. I honestly kind of think if I did like daily vlogs for an entire year, like every single day or 6 days a week, I feel like my channel would grow a lot. 'Cause like something cool that Gary Vee talks about is that like your next video could be the video that like takes your channel off. Like, it could be this podcast, it could be the very next video. Like it's all about timing and luck and effort. And it's like if I made 365 consecutive videos, like one of those is bound to get some traction and some growth. So we'll see. I have a ton of ideas, but I just can't say anything more right now because it's not ready. I gotta wait till I'm ready. But it involves some pretty significant life change. But the plan I have, I feel like I can kind of bridge these gaps of worry that I've had about my life. Like the touring thing, the freelance thing, the YouTube thing, my relationships, and my faith. Like I feel like this idea can kind of bridge all of that together. And maybe it'll all crash and burn, but I want to try. That's one thing that I just refuse to do. I just refuse to be afraid of an idea. Like, because I feel like the big ideas that I've had in my life that I've jumped on, it's like I haven't failed. Like there's failures along the way. There's mistakes, there's mishaps, snafus, snags, but I haven't failed. Like I feel like the first like notable one in my life was leaving college a semester early to pursue a freaking metal band. Dude, like a brand new band, like 0 likes on Facebook, 0 followers. Nobody knows who we are. No music. Like, I remember announcing the name of the band and the first song and everything, and like just trying to get my friends and family to check it out. And like on our very first tours, like we were joking around about being on Solid State. We're like, you think we should, like something cool would happen on tour and be like, should we call Solid State and tell them about that? Like completely as a joke. And then like after our first EP, like they sign us. Like, and that's just the very like summary edition of that. But I don't know. That was like the first thing when that happened, when we got signed to Solid State Records. I pooed a little bit in my shorts and I was like, dude, it's so worth going after your goals. Because it wasn't easy. Like, sleeping in a van during the summer is one of the worst things ever. But it's just like all the experiences I have in my life. Dude, like, I've seen the entire United States. I've seen Germany and Canada. And I'm not trying to brag at all. I'm just saying, like, hard work it pulls weight. It's so cool. And it's great when you have people with you that have a similar mindset. Like doing it alone is hard, but having support is awesome. And that's why, like, I don't feel alone doing this YouTube thing. I really feel connected with you guys. Like when we're talking in the comments and you guys are sending me goofy messages, like, or telling me a tutorial or a video inspired you. Like, I got a message yesterday from a dude that said, like, he's watched my vlogs and he started a vlog channel, like, because he's feeling inspired. I'm like, freaking dude, that's so worth it. Like, when I see that stuff, like, it's like, okay, I want to keep creating. I want to keep inspiring people and myself. Like, I just love making crap, you know? Hopefully not crap, but I like making vids and stuffs. So, yeah, that's the Patreon update. I'm so pumped. Yeah, boy. I'm so freaking stoked right now. But, yeah, so I got a message. Thank God. Last week we didn't have any messages. We had comments to read, but we got another voice message. And this message is from Blaze Turcado. And he's just like kind of a very sweet, beautiful baby boy with kind of long, shaggy hair and kind of like a tuft of pubes on the chin. But his name is Blaze, which is just really cool. And he's the drummer of a band called Sorry No Sympathy. And we toured with them way back, like during our first or second year of touring. And dude, they're so awesome. One of the things I really remember about that tour is every night we stayed in a Walmart parking lot, and they had this like little portable stove that would fold out of their trailer, and they would make us like ravioli and random pastas at nighttime. And we would just sit in the parking lot, and one of the guys had a hot dog suit that they were kind of riding. They were skateboarding around wearing a giant wiener outfit, and that was beautiful. That was great times. But they're a very good band, awesome music. The vocalist of my band, Jeremy, he records their band. Go check them out. Sorry No Sympathy. And one thing I would call them is Sorry No Shrimp or Beef. And I always found that entertaining, and no one else did, and I'm sure you don't. But Sorry No Shrimp or Beef, great band. He titled his message Gear Dodd. And that's something I would say a lot on that tour. Do you know what spoonerisms are? It's when you flip the beginnings of the words, like instead of Dear God, it's Gear Dodd, or instead of like Bob Saget, it's Sog Babbitt, or lighting gear, it's guiding leer, you know? So practice your spoonerisms while we listen to Blaze's message. Here we go.
Hey, bud. I just got back from tour, and sorry my voice is a little raspy right now. I'm kind of sick, but I just caught up on...
Let's pause there. Yeah, one thing about touring. Hi, Blaze, by the way. Hi, I love you. Touring will make you sick, and especially those boys in that band. They're a dangerous bunch. I've seen video footages of their vocalist kind of hanging his butthole out of a window on the interstate and sort of excreting some solids of a darker reddish brown color. And those kinds of people will get you sick really fast. They do have a guitarist he's a very large man. And he will fart very loud and very stinky. And it just kind of sounds like a flock of geese kind of being murdered. And I can understand why you're sick, Blaze.
Your most recent episodes, and I've been listening to all your episodes. But your story about the headlights and everything, that I thought that was funny because when we were in East St. Louis, they told us not to flash our headlights because like gang members like target people that way. So like if you flash them, then they like start following you and stuff. I just thought it was kind of interesting.
Whoa. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, there's an epidemic in Nashville, Tennessee, where there's so many people driving around at nighttime with no headlights on. I see it every time I'm driving at night here. Rarely, and dude, I flash them all the time, and I might be in a gang or two now, and I'm just realizing that. Thanks for warning me, Blaze. I got to figure out how to get out of these gangs, but that's crazy. That's kind of scary though. Like, you could maybe get shot just trying to tell somebody that their lights are off. Let's hear what else he has to say.
But also, I want to recommend the movie Lavender because it's cinematically just beautiful. Like you can pause it and just screenshot it and have that as a picture, like almost every scene. It's just really, really interesting movie. So I thought I'd just throw that suggestion out there. I'll call you again sometime. Love you, buddy.
Blaze, I love you so much, man. Thanks for calling into the podcast. That's cool that you listen to the episodes. It's still weird to me, like, that people listen. Like, I feel like I'm just talking into the air, but oh man, love you, Blaze. Thanks for the message. Lavender, I need to check that out. I'm gonna check that out because that sounds really, really cool, and I just love watching things that inspire like my video, like color grading and stuff. I like to try to mimic different movies for different projects if it fits. So I'll check out Lavender, man. That sounds good. There's another movie like that for me that's just cinematically so perfect throughout the whole thing, and that's The Revenant. That film is outrageous, dude. I feel like every shot is like so perfectly planned and so gorgeous. I just bought that one recently on the old 4K Blu-ray. I haven't watched it yet in 4K, but I'm excited. Lavender. Okay, I'll check it out. I hope things are going well for you, Blaze. Dear people watching this, please just go listen to Blaze's band. Sorry, No Sympathy. And it will probably come up if you also say sorry, no shrimp or beef. Make sure the shrimp is first. And I think I've done 2 music videos for that band. And it's been fun. The very first music video I did on my Panasonic GH4 was Sorry No Sympathy. And we shot that in South Dakota in front of a big, beautiful lake. Lake Henry is what it was called. It's still called that probably. But yeah, they're a great band. Talented boys. Yeah. So God bless you, Blaze. Hope things are going well. Hope tour life was fun. Hopefully Chase didn't poop on you too much. I've seen too much poop come out of that man. Oh, it's gross. It's real gross. This is going to be a short one, I think. Oh, God bless. But yeah, tour's fun, man. Like, there's so many cool memories when you're just traveling around on the road. Okay, I gotta tell one memory because this is just one of my favorites. Well, actually, I'll give you 2. One will be related to poop. Jeremy did crap his pants at one time. We were in Texas, and he just had to poo a lot, and we were driving for a long time. We stopped at a Starbucks for him to go in and poop, but prematurely, some turd did come out inside of his black jeans, and he did take the jeans off. And kind of streaking down his leg was some sort of brown Hershey highway. And it wasn't pretty. But you know what? We are brothers, so we will clean each other up and help each other out. So we got through that one. But one of my favorite non-poop memories of tour is few years back. It was probably our first or second year of tour. We were on tour with a band called Sweet Ascent, and those are some of my best boys. I've done almost all of their music videos, I think. But we went to the Grand Canyon in Arizona, and we I don't even know how to explain this, but we had planned the show before the Grand Canyon. We were like, okay, let's go to the Grand Canyon tomorrow. Let's go hang out. And we start driving. Obviously, we're in separate vans. Their guitar player's driving. I'm driving our van. We're like 9 hours away from the Grand Canyon. And I call Bobby, their guitar player, and I'm like, dude, I'm driving all the way to the Grand Canyon tonight. And sometimes on tour, I'll just get into this mood where like I'm unstoppable, and I'm so hype. And this happens very rarely, but it's like no one can stop me, no judgment, just like so psyched out of my mind. And it happened for 9 hours that night. It was the longest it's ever happened, but I drank coffee, Bobby drank Red Bull, and like we drove all the way to the Grand Canyon. I think it was from Denver or something. I don't know. And that's probably wrong. But dude, we would stop in the middle of the night, and like Bobby's outside of the van just doing push-ups. Like there's just cans of Red Bull crushed around Bobby, and he's just lifting the earth up and down underneath his body. And I'm just slamming coffees just one after another. Just like coffee just spilling out of my eyelids. And dude, we passed this sign that said Tuba City. And it was like, there was no gas stations for like a couple hundred miles. But all we saw was Tuba City. And that just became the saying, like, dude, we going to Tuba Town? So that was good. And we made it to the Grand Canyon for sunrise. It was close though. So I'm driving. It's like the last hour of the drive. The sun is like, it's starting to get light out. It's kind of beautiful. And it's right before dawn. And Jeremy is like in the passenger seat, and I'm making him hold the steering wheel while we're going down the highway. And I'm taking my contacts out while driving and putting my glasses on. Then I take the steering wheel back. That's the level of dedication I had that night. And that was in the 9th hour. You can't even imagine where I was in the first 3. Berserk, dude. Unstoppable. I would guarantee I was screaming to AC/DC. And that's just kind of how tour goes sometimes. Sometimes it's really, you're tired, but dude, it's not all bad. That was beautiful. We made it for sunrise. I remember as I was parking the van, I put the van in like park before the van was stopped, and it made a very bad noise. And I thought that I was going to shatter the internals of the van. But luckily it was fine. Quakes was strong before he died. Yeah, and our van did die on this last tour. He started spewing this green fluid out of him, and he did pass away. And we are in the process of buying a new van before this O Sleeper run that I'm not supposed to talk about. But you know how everybody's like, you know how when you talk to somebody who's like in a band that has no significant following, and they're like, yeah, dude, we got an announcement coming soon, but I can't talk about it yet. Like, hey, don't tell anybody this, but we're about to go on tour with ourselves. You know how that goes. That's kind of like, I feel like that's how our band is sometimes. Like, no one cares, but we're like, dude, we can't talk about this yet. As if that sounds cool. Like, hey, we have something to talk about, but we're not going to do it yet. But we're going to talk about the fact that we're not talking about it. And that's sick, bro. That's kind of where things are for some people, and I don't want to be like that. We're going on tour with O Sleeper. Tell all your friends. Yeah. But I think that's it. I'm feeling really good about the rest of this year and the plans that I have. And yeah, on a more serious note, I really have just been praying and thinking and journaling a lot about this plan I have. And this might sound weird if you're not spiritual or whatever, and that's fine. I want you to know, I need to let you know, like, I do not care what you believe. Like, I believe we're all equally loved. I love you equally. I don't care what your gender, sexual orientation, religion. I don't care. Like, I love you. You're awesome. Just be nice to each other, okay? But yeah, me personally, I believe that there is a God. I don't understand how it all works, and I definitely go through times where I don't believe, and it's like, what am I doing? How is this real? So it's not easy for me, you know? I've struggled a lot with that. But deep down, I do believe a lot. And So I've been praying and thinking about this new plan of mine for the rest of this year, and with YouTube and content creating and music, all this stuff in my life, and practicing contentment with where I am. But it was strange. I've been journaling about this idea for the past few days, I guess. And then I got a call yesterday, randomly, from my aunt, who I have not seen or spoken to in, I think, years, like maybe 2 at least. And she reminded me of this time when I very first started freelancing. I filmed a wedding for my cousin Jared, and it was one of my earlier weddings. But at the wedding, she reminded me yesterday that at the wedding, she told me that God had spoken to her or given her this vision or this idea that Lauren and I would get back together. So I guess at that time we were not together, and I guess she knew somehow. Because, yeah, Lauren and I went through a lot of really rough crap, but that's for another podcast. I want to have her on and talk about that at some point. So I don't want to say too much because it's personal stuff that it's not ready yet. But she reminded me of the time where she told me that she had some sort of internal thing where she felt like Lauren and I would be back together. And I don't know. I don't even remember what I said or thought at the time. I was probably decently receptive to it. But also, I don't know. Prophecy stuff freaks me out. And most of the time when people are like, hey, I think God said this to you from me, I'm like, why? Like, why wouldn't he tell me? But I don't know. Sometimes my heart's really receptive and I feel it, you know? And yesterday she's like, I feel like I have another message for you. And she said it's only happened twice in her life and they were both for me. I don't know. Strange, but it felt like I didn't feel resistant to it. Like usually when people are like prophetic, I'm so like walled off. I'm like, you're so full of crap right now. Because I've had a rough history with that kind of spirituality in my younger years. I'll talk about that sometime. And this was probably sounding so weird to some of you, and that's fine. You don't have to listen. But I'm just being open with you guys. And so yesterday she said that she feels like God said to her that he has something huge planned for me in Nashville. And I was like, okay, that's vague. Like, that's really vague. Like, I appreciate it. But also my heart was like, dude, maybe this is the plan. Because I've been praying about it, and maybe this is confirmation that I need to go for it. Because I can't say anything more yet, but it's going to take sacrifice. But I feel peace about it, you know, like I really feel good. Like I'm going to have to give up some things that I like, and some comforts, but I'm feeling peace about the idea and the plan. And then she says that, and I'm like, okay, maybe that's the green light. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Sorry if that's super weird. If you don't believe in anything, I love you and you're equal. Yeah. So that's a really weird way to end a podcast, but I just wanted to, I don't know. I just love this. I love talking to you guys. I love that you listen, and I want to be real with you. I don't want it to just be jokes. You know, I want to talk about real life. Trying to think if I had any questions for you guys. You know, it'd be kind of cool to hear your spiritual background or where you're at with that. Because this is a totally like judgment-free zone. Like I have friends that are atheists. I have gay friends. I have friends of all different shapes, sizes, colors, beliefs, everything, you know? And that's so beautiful, like diversity and culture. There's not just one way. Like, so please, where are you at with everything? Like with your life beliefs and stuff? Like, I just genuinely am curious. I love hearing different schools of thought, different belief systems, everything, different practices, traditions. So leave me a message on Anchor. If you download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm, I think, or just Google Anchor podcast. Search my podcast, Help Me Out Here, And please leave me a voice message. You can just do it all on your phone really quick. You have a full minute to do it. And if you run out of time and you want to say more, leave me 2 messages. I would love to hear from you. We've had people leave 3 consecutive messages, and I love it. I love hearing actual response from you guys. And if you're not comfortable with that, you can email me at zachmayfield3@gmail.com. And that's all lowercase, just Zach Mayfield and the number 3@gmail. Or just leave me a YouTube comment or an Instagram DM. It's all Zachariah Mayfield. You can find me there. But yeah, I love you all so much. Hopefully this episode wasn't too weird. Oh, man. But yeah, boy. Trying to think. Just let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. That's all the notes I had. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the future with you guys. Thank you for letting me do what I love, and for not letting it be empty. Like, I put it out there, but you guys are the ones catching it and receiving it. And thank you for being receptive with your eyeballs and your ear holes. However you're receiving it, thank you. I love you guys so much. That didn't make a lot of sense, but I'm going to fall off this chair now to end this video. Goodbye. Hey Alexa, turn off Zach's lamp. Yeah, girl.